from 3. Derek White, 6 of 18, 5 of 16 from 3. Porzingis played 13 minutes. He was dealing with some injuries. The 45 missed threes are more than the Knicks shot threes. The Knicks had been 0 of 10 versus top 3 teams this season. They're undefeated against them in the playoffs. I don't get the Celtics. If the Celtics is on, I don't like watching them play because all they do is going to come down and jack up threes. Now, I watched last night Jason Tatum shot a 3. He got the rebound, shot another 3. Somebody else got the rebound, kicked it to him. He shot another 3. Guess what? They got the rebound again. I give you one more guess. What you think he did, Ryan, when he got the ball back?
Shot a 3.
How about this here? How about this, Ocho? The Celtics shot the ball 20 times in the third quarter. 19 of them was threes. Hey. At what point in time do you say, Ryan, hey, how about rerun? Hey, Missoula, come on. Hey, ref, give me a full one. I want a full one.
Yeah. But
hey, guys, come on, let's run a set. Let's get something going to the basket.
Right. I got a question, though, Unc and Ryan.
Yeah.
They just won an NBA championship. Doing what last year? Shooting what?
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay, but this year they had a record. They had the best record in the East, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah. No, the Cavs had the best record in the East.
Okay, the Cavs had the second best record. They had the second best record in the East by doing what? Shooting what?
But here's the thing, Ocho. In the postseason, you pay for that. You see what happened? Now you blew the Knicks. You blew the Knicks out. You had a 20-point, Ocho. You had a 20-point lead.
Yeah,
a 20-point lead.
They struggle.
And you keep shooting. At what point in time do you say, hey, man, we done missed 12 of these things in a row. You don't want to get anything going to the basket?
Everybody was missing. It wasn't just one person. Nobody was hitting.
Let's see, 25, 41. So Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White was 10 for 41 from the 3.
Let me challenge you right now.
Go ahead.
You talked about Missoula, but the first person you talked about was who? Tatum, right?
Tatum.
Your best player has the green light to take the basketball, get on the elbow, call his own number, and go one-on-one and go make a play. Now, granted, Mikal Bridges is a dog. Okay, OG is a dog. New York has 2
Well, you can't be the face of the NBA if you can't beat Mikal Bridges.
And Mikal ain't no.
You can't be the face of the NBA.
Mikal a dog though.
Hey, I don't care if you're Alibi. One of the toughest dogs in the Turkish region. I don't care if he's a dogo. Whatever dog. What dog you want? You want a South African Marble? Whatever dog you want. You cannot be the face of the NBA if you're telling me that. Because you tell me what face of the NBA couldn't go get it regardless of who was guarding it.
But here's the thing. You're right. For JT, go get the ball and go make a play. Give Mikal Bridges his love. And you're right when you're saying that. You got to go make a play. He's got to go get his shot off in that moment. Now, in terms of the series, I don't know where you guys stand on this. Ocho, I don't know if you're jumping on the Knicks. I don't know if
you. Listen, hey, Ryan, I don't have no horse in the race. And coming out the East, I'm a Heat fan.
Chad. Well, put your hat on because I want to read this to you. And this jumped out to me the most when you talk about the Knicks. And I'm happy when the Knicks are good, it's good for basketball. Mikal Bridges, 51 minutes. OG, 46 minutes. Brunson, 44 minutes. Josh Hart, 45 minutes. You can't win like that against the Celtics because the Celtics, 44, 45, 44 for Jason Tatum, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown. They're going to take a rest. They're going to get breaks. Right. They've been conditioned to have their breaks during the season, hence why their record wasn't like that. They were the second in the East. Were they talented enough to be the first? Come on, fellas. Absolutely. So these are the times they have to turn it on. Give New York some credit. Give Jalen Brunson some credit. You talk about dog. Don't go, don't have it. That ain't no puppy dog. I know he little.
Man. I love that joke. I love his game.
He can get it, boy.
They're top 5. New York's top 5 and the Celtics top 5, they even out. But when you get down and you talk about rest, when you talk about how hard it was for you to get there, when you talk about minutes and wear and tear, I'm going to give Boston that edge at the end of the day. But talent-wise, you could go like this. You go like this.
Well,
All five versus your five.
Because when you look at it, Mikal Bridges can play defense. OG can play defense. Josh Hart can play defense. So if you look at the three offensive weapons, so if you go JT, JB, Derek White, we right there with you. We right there with you. And so now you got Cat. Now Cat is not known as a defensive, but he can pull their bigs. Now it'll be interesting to see what Porzingis brings back to the table because he only played 13 minutes. And they're a different team when Porzingis is healthy and when he's on the floor doing what he's doing because he can shoot the three, he can run the floor, he can protect the rim. So now they don't really play him, and they do some, him and Al Horford, but Al gonna give you great production on the defensive end. He can hit big threes. I thought Holiday did a great job yesterday. And you see, just about every time down the floor, Holiday would take him, then Derek White would take him, then JB would get a little of him. So they tried to wear him down. They tried to wear him down. Go ahead, Ryan.
What you think about this? And Chad, tell me if I'm wrong with this. I've always felt like the key to the Celtics was Drew Holiday. And I feel like in those moments, obviously I'm calling those two guys out. Drew Holiday's, and my apologies, he's good enough to have gone and got the ball. And I feel like when he's on, he changes their team. He's the guy you can't match up with. Because when you go through the scouting report, you're thinking about pressing Tatum off the three-point line, helping on the weak side, not letting Jaylen Brown bully you to his right hand. Those are the common sense plays. But Drew Holiday is the guy who can put you in jail. He's a big guard, Chad. He can take you underneath, and you can't help. When Golden State was good, Chad, you was like, you one-on-one, I got Curry, I can't leave. Yeah. You one-on-one, I got Klay Thompson, I can't leave. They shoot the three, maybe not like Golden State. Obviously, statistically, they're better, or they hit more threes, but you can't help. So if I'm Drew Holiday, I put Brunson in jail. Ain't no way Brunson guards me. As a matter of fact, ain't no way. I love Josh Hart. Ain't no way Josh Hart guards me. Put him in jail. If the help comes, you could move the basketball. So I think if there's more of a focus with Drew Holiday and his minutes offensively, I think he's the guy that really gets them going.
I think the key last night for the Knicks was OG because he's 10 or 20.
OG got better.
6'11".
He got better. He got better.
He played unbelievable. Now, you look, you better have a big lead in clutch time if you're going to beat the Knicks because that little left-handed joker, Brunson, he going to get his points now. Well, he going to hit a three. He gonna get to his midi, or you gonna foul him. He gonna go to the free throw line. But you better have a substantial lead. Yeah. But and I hate saying clutch because it wouldn't be clutch time if the game is more than 5 points in the last 5 minutes. But boy, every shot. Hell, I thought he wanted a regulation because the ball did everything but go in the hoop when he went to the basket. And he went over Al's outstretched arm. Mm-hmm. But I do think the Celtics. I think the Celtics make right tomorrow, and win that game.
Wait! Whoa!
They was up 20, Ocho. They was up 20, Ocho. They not gonna go down 0-2.
So you still think, you got the Celtics to win the series?
Yes, I do.
Ryan, you got the Celtics to win the series?
Yeah. For what I said, it's too many minutes for New York. They got to play too many. They're gonna run out of gas. Here's this though, and this is my thing, kind of with the Celtics, and I think this was an ego-driven move. With all due respect to Mazzulla and those guys. So, Chad, when you first got in the league and you saw one-on-one, and you had one-on-one, what did you expect every single time?
I expected the ball to come.
Jalen Brunson came off a pick and roll. Coverage 1 through 5 switch off. He had Al Horford barbecue chicken. He had Derek White.
Stop doing it. Stop
barbecue chicken. What? Chad, at what point did they realize, don't leave Ocho alone? You Chad Johnson there. You Ocho came later. Don't leave Chad Johnson alone. Right. Don't leave him alone. Don't leave him alone. Don't leave Jalen Brunson alone.
Not with Al Horford.
Blitz.
And that's what the great was going to do. Hey, let me find out. Hey, Ocho, just like anything else, you find out you got the hookup at the store. Hey man, such and such a hook you up at the store. What you gonna do? You gonna go down? You gonna go down there and get that hookup?
Oh yeah.
Hey man, look here. You keep calling. What did Ant-Man do against the Lakers? He kept calling. Give me Luka. Give me Rui. Nah. I ain't trying to get Vanderbilt. I ain't trying to get Finney. Hey, give me one of them.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You find a weak link. You find a fish, and you don't let him off the hook. I got to get you in the boat, and that's what they did. And you see what the Knicks did. They went to that pick and roll, and every time I know Al played great defense, but Al is not staying in front of Jalen Brunson. He gonna get to that step back, or he gonna do the heavy and get to the basket. So you got a choice.
I got something you don't want to hear right now.
What that?
If I'm New York and I'm Tibbs and I say, how do I win this series? How do I win this series? I'm going to say something you don't want to know. I mean, that too. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is somebody that that Boston would struggle to match up with. He had 14 points. He's a +8, 31 minutes. Good, solid game. And
he was in foul trouble.
Yeah, you can't be in foul trouble. Chad, am I wrong by saying it? Because if I'm New York,
hold on, I'm getting ready to ask you which Karl Anthony Towns you talking about. You talk about the one that's gonna be in the blocking in the post, or you gonna talk about
he ain't gonna be in the blocking the post because you don't want to play with the back of the basket. That's everybody's problem with him, right?
Shooting the three. Which Karl Anthony Towns?
If he gets his mind made up, I don't think Boston can match. Now Porzingis is got size. They got some bodies they can throw at him, but he's the guy that you go like I'm telling you from the Celtics standpoint, they're gonna. We don't want to see him on the block. We don't want to see him driving. We gotta get him you have to attack him and pick and roll. You gotta spread the floor and get him off the floor and get him in foul trouble. But if you can go at him, I mean, he played 31 minutes.
Yeah.
That's an X factor. If I'm New York and Pat starts to take over, because I know I got Brunson. Right. I know I got Brunson. I know OG is hooping. I know Josh Hart gonna be there when you need him. Karl Anthony Towns is a guy who can sway this series. Now, unfortunately, we've been saying this for a long time. I think he's had a heck of a year. I think if we're going to be honest, Minnesota probably lost. If Minnesota had Karl Anthony Towns tonight, they win this game because you wouldn't have been guarding them the way they was guarding them. You wouldn't have been going small.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the New York Knicks Report, but today we ain't talking Philadelphia Eagles. We're talking culture, swagger, identity, and oh yes, legacy. You see, over in Philly, Jalen Carter just went viral for a full-body tattoo that's got fans screaming online like he just sacked Mahomes in the Super Bowl all over again. But let me ask you something, New York. Where is our statement? Where is our cultural flag in the ground? Because while other franchises are out here building legacies in ink, we in the Mecca of basketball are still trying to reclaim the soul of a city that's been begging for a banner since 1973. And if Philly has Jalen Carter, a lion-hearted beast with gorilla strength, repping his roots and making noise, then I'm here to tell you, the New York Knicks need a Jalen Carter of their own. Jalen Carter didn't just wake up one day and become a star. No, that man earned his moment. A Super Bowl, all-rookie team, 42 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and now a tattoo that screams identity, a lion, an eagle, a gorilla, and the roots of his hometown in Apopka. That's culture, that's leadership, that's pride. And what about us? What about Madison Square Garden? What about Julius Randle? What about R.J. Barrett? Oh wait, we shipped him to Toronto. Don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson has been a savior, a miracle worker, but he cannot do it alone. Not if we want a championship, not if we want a real dynasty. The difference between teams like Philly and New York, they play like they know who they are. Jalen Carter's ink isn't just a tattoo, it's a declaration. This is who I am. This is who I play for, and I'll run through you for it. When was the last time a Knicks player, heck, a Knicks team, played with that kind of conviction? Now, don't misunderstand me. I love this squad. I believe in this squad. I see the fight in Josh Hart. I see the hunger in Dante DiVincenzo. But let me be real. We ain't there yet. Not until every man on that roster knows exactly what the name Knicks is supposed to mean. Not until we stop playing cute and start playing grimy. Because here's the truth. You don't win in the Garden without grit. You don't win in New York without pain. You don't win in April and May if you didn't bleed in November. Now switch gears with me for just a second. The Golden State Warriors just beat the Timberwolves 99-88, and they did it without Steph Curry, without their MVP, without the heart and soul of their dynasty. Jimmy Butler stepped up. Draymond Green turned back the clock, and the rest of that squad came together like a family on a mission. I know what you're thinking. This is the Knicks Report. Why are we talking about the Warriors? Simple, because that right there, that's what champions do. You lose your star player, and you don't fold. You don't cry about it. You dig deeper, and you find another gear. Just like Jalen Carter did when the Eagles needed a spark. Just like the Warriors are doing now with Steph hurt. Let me ask you, Knicks fans, if Brunson went down tonight, who steps up? Who grabs the mic? Who drops 25, gets in somebody's face and says, "Not tonight"? Because right now, the difference between us and those championship franchises, they already have the answer. We're still figuring out the question. Now listen, this ain't a funeral. This is a wake-up call. We are the New York Knicks. We play in the most iconic arena in the world. We are the pulse of the league, whether we're good or bad. We matter, but it's time to start acting like it. We need our Jalen Carter moment. We need that full-body tattoo energy, that run-through-a-wall-for-my-city mindset, that Bronx, Harlem, Queens, Brooklyn attitude. Because until we get that, we're just another team with potential. So I'm calling on you, Knicks Nation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear from you. Who on this team represents that New York grit? Who's the dog that's ready to ink his legacy into the hardwood? And most of all, how do we turn this roster into a real dynasty? Let's talk about it. Let's argue if we have to. But let's not stay quiet, because if you're a real Knicks fan, you know, we've waited too long to settle. Now this is the New York Knicks Report, and we don't just report the news. We challenge our city to rise up and own it.